Every time this happens, I want to immediately drop the game that I'm playing. We don't need that. You're a big loser. I've grown balls and now you're blue balling me. Be someone. Anyone. Choose a personality, please. Hi, I'm Lynn, and I love JRPGs. They've been a huge part of my life since, well, as long as I can remember. But as I've noticed through my streaming journey recently and finishing more games, there are a lot of tropes in JRPGs that I personally really cannot stand, and they keep popping up. Am I just unlucky? Do you like these tropes? Do they work for you? What tropes don't you like? Let's talk about it. Starting with the big one, resurrection or fake out deaths. Listen, I might be one of the few who actually don't mind if my favorite character is always the one that dies. A tragic, horrible death. Because at least I felt something. And at least it mattered. It had an impact. It touched me in a way that I want stories to impact me as a person. I want to remember them. And so when you undo a death, what was the point? Just to play with my emotions? What kind of toxic relationship is this? Why is this such a common trope? I get so upset every time. Every time this happens, I want to immediately drop the game that I'm playing. And it's happened quite a few times in like the span of a year. The games that I'm choosing are games that I legitimately think I will like, and that's why I play them. And then the resurrection trope or the fake out death happens. And I'm like, is it me? Am I unlucky? Or is this just extremely common? I feel like a lot of people probably hate that one. That one's pretty much mostly hated. I will say, just because I don't like these tropes in the past doesn't mean that it's impossible to do them well. But in the case of fake out death, I think you'd have to be extremely careful in the way that you went about it in order to pull it off. Okay, this next one might be a bit controversial, but I personally can't stand when our female protagonist, usually our heroine character, cuts her hair short as a symbol of change and growth. We don't need that. She can keep her hair. I don't know. I can't quite articulate why it bothers me so much. I think it is just the defeminization of women equaling to strength that just really irks me. And maybe you don't see it that way. Maybe you enjoy it. Maybe you think short hair on girls is cute. I think girls are cute no matter what. But listen, I don't think we need a physical symbol to make her arguably less feminine to show strength. I think that's pretty offensive sometimes and counterintuitive to your point that this character's been through a lot and they've grown a significant amount. Maybe there's another way that we can show that doesn't take away a feminine quality. I don't know if I'm articulating this one correctly or how it's making me feel, but this has always bothered me. It's just never something that I've liked. I think we can all agree that when you finally corner the villain in a JRPG and you defeated them in combat, or maybe there was a cutscene where your characters are fighting the villain, and then all of a sudden the villain gets away in a deus ex machina fashion, where it's like, oh, there they were, and there they go. It's so disappointing because why? You put the carrot in front of me. Maybe I had to try for the combat and then poof, goodbye. See you in 10 hours to do this again. Or better yet, When you fight the villain in combat, you win, and then the cutscene directly afterwards, you lose. At least make me lose the combat as well to make it believable. Like, why? Why am I winning the combat and then in the cutscene it's like, oh, you're a big loser. Good luck next time, buddy. See you in 10 hours, 20 hours, 50 hours. Or when a villain character is super strong and then they have a change of heart and they join your party. Now, sometimes this works for me and sometimes it doesn't. It's all down to the writing for the majority of these tropes. What makes it worse is if they join your party in a dumb way and then they're also weaker once they've joined you. It's like, oh, the power of good strikes again. Man, if only he stayed evil, then he could be like 20 levels higher or have more impactful skills. One more thing about villains in particular. This is the last one about villains, I promise. But when the villain lets your protagonist or your party members go, even though they have the upper hand, like there's no logical reason for them to let your party go, but they do it. And I'm sitting there as a player and I'm like, why? Fight me now. Kick my ass. What are we doing here? Are we playing chess or checkers? And it always feels a little bit disappointing. It's like, why are we even doing this? Why am I even seeing the villain right now if they're just going to let me off for no apparent reason, except that we need the game to hit a certain quota. On the flip side of that, when your protagonist or your party members suddenly have a change in morality and spare the villain, even though you spent all this time, maybe even the majority or the entire game, going after this horrible, despicable villain, only for them to be like, you know, I may have killed 1,000 grunts, but killing is wrong. And I can't bring myself to continue this cycle. Be so for real. Kill the villain. That's why I'm here. I want to see the villain go down because you've built them up this entire time. And then we get there and we're like, actually, I found Jesus and he wouldn't want me to kill you because killing is wrong. Please spare me. Don't you hate it when your characters are finally getting to the crux of a matter? They're about to uncover something. It's very plot relevant. It's a very interesting conversation. And then, this guy walks in and we have to stop talking. Or something happens. There's a crash or a noise or boom, the villain pops out of nowhere. And we never, as the player, get to learn what they were going to say until much later on. It's blue balling. You're blue balling me. I've grown balls and now you're blue balling me. What is the point? You're just edging me at this point. Like, can we get something? Just anything. Just stop teasing me like that. I can't take it anymore. All right, this is the penultimate one. It's a super important one, more so for older JRPGs, I think, but I play a lot of retro games and a lot of older JRPGs, which I love, and I grew up with a lot of them. But the annoying mascot character. Listen, I don't care how cute you make this thing. I want them dead. The only mascot character I've enjoyed was from Persona 3, and he's literally just a dog. He's a dog. And finally, the last one. Having amnesia. Every single game. You know who you are. Be someone. Anyone. Choose a personality, please. We need less self-insert characters in JRPGs. Silent protagonists, you're on thin ice. Because, frankly, there's too many of you. But amnesia, for me, it's more annoying because it's such a lazy tactic I'd personally rather learn about a character than have another self-insert in the ocean of self-insert, cardboard, plastic, copy and paste protagonist with blue hair. Oh, maybe that was a little too specific. But anyway, those are just some tropes that I've personally seen in JRPGs that super bother me. Do they bother you? What tropes do bother you? Which ones do you actually like? That could be another video, if I can think of some that I like. I'm sure there are some. I just really needed to rant about the ones that I didn't like. But again, these are just my own personal opinions and experiences so far. Maybe I've just been unlucky. But yeah, let me know in the comments and I will talk to you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.